Welcome to the Tough Decisions Network for Entrepreneurs. I'm Dennae Handford, and my wife, Dennae, and I interview successful people sharing stories behind tough decisions that they've had to make along their journey as an entrepreneur. On the podcast with us today is MC Laubscher. MC, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
Hi, MC. We are looking forward to chatting with you for a few minutes today, and we'd like for you to get us started by just telling us and our audience a little bit about you, your background as an entrepreneur, and where your focus is right now.
Yeah, so my name is MC Laubscher, as you've mentioned. I'm the creator and host of the Cashflow Ninja podcast. We have Cashflow Ninjas on there sharing how to create income in the new economy from asset classes such as real estate, businesses, online businesses, crypto and blockchain, paper assets, and commodities such as gold, silver, and oil. And then I'm also the president and chief wealth and investment strategist at Producers Wealth. We are a wealth creation firm that's based out of Newtown, Pennsylvania, and Bucks County that services clients virtually in all 50 states. As an entrepreneur, I've always tried to, I've been involved in a lot of different projects, as most entrepreneurs have. I was never a natural, but I'm a person that loves my independence and have always tried to be self-sufficient and control my own destiny, and that's what really, really drew me to it. So the journey has been fun, full of the school of hard knocks, but yeah, it's been one of the best things that I think that I could have done.
And what do you guys do in your wealth creation company?
Yeah, so we help people create strategy and then also implement systems and processes around their strategy for them. And then we partner them with specific investment folks if so interested. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs that work with us and a lot of investors. The company was built for them. So strategy plays a big part of it. We know in business it does. It has to when it comes to your wealth and wealth creation as well. And then set up systems and processes for them.
Cool. Well, that's pretty interesting. I'm sure we'll dive into a few tough decisions you've had to make along the way in creating that company and getting to where it is today. But talk to us first about what I like to call a sore thumb tough decision. So it's a tough decision that you've had to make that didn't have that good of an outcome, but you learned a lot of lessons through it.
Yeah, I think every single time that I've invested away from my unique ability and my strengths, it's been a disaster as far on my entrepreneurial journey. So what I've learned is to always partner and bring in relationships with that particular strength that I needed to accomplish something, right? And stay in my lane with my unique ability and know what I need to do, right? So, and when it comes to our businesses too, I'll tie in the wealth creation here too. What a lot of entrepreneurs do, and especially when it comes to money, and it's a different skill set, right? Being an entrepreneur, starting a business and then growing wealth. What a lot of entrepreneurs, especially do with wealth, is invest outside themselves. A lot of the times they have businesses, they're absolutely cash flow ninjas in those business, and then they take the money and give it to a financial advisor to invest it in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds instead of investing that back into themselves and their own business and around their own unique abilities. So I think that's been the biggest lesson for me is every single time, look at what I'm good at. Look at what I'm knowledgeable about. Look at where I am as far as my strengths and my weaknesses and stay within that sphere of genius, as I like to call it, and then bring in and partner with incredible people to add you in the other areas that you're not so good at.
I mean, it sounds to me like you've gotten really good at saying no to things, right? Because I think as entrepreneurs, we have so many opportunities that come our way, and that a lot of times they really seem very, sexy, if you will, on the surface. But when we really realize that it's really not our core competency.
Yeah, and you have to look at the things that move the needle forward. There's certain things. If you're focused, it's back to that one thing. If you're focused on something, that's driving the needle of your business, and you actually being distracted and trying to do everything else or trying to do different things is actually preventing your business from moving forward. I don't know who coined the phrase first, but it's something to the effect that sometimes the best thing for you to do and for your business is for you to get out of the way, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to be able to understand, that you're going to get a lot of opportunities sent your way, and you have to be able to say no to certain things. And that's probably the biggest thing I can see from your decision here is that you set that line and you said, this is where my strengths are, and I'm not going to, distract myself on other areas. And if I decide to do something, then I need to find other people or partners that can really kind of balance that out if that's one of the things I want to move forward with.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of people do a to-do list. I also write a not to-do list and try to stick to that one.
Well, I want to shift here and talk about a tough decision that you've had to make along this same journey as an entrepreneur that had a really good and positive outcome in some of those lessons.
I think once you build your business, you have this ambitions, and then your business starts to take off, right? And it grows. And there's some success that you're enjoying at that stage. I think you get to a point where it's that, I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but you start to play a little bit of defense, right? All of a sudden, offense got you to where you are, and now you're successful. And then all of a sudden, maybe it's that little bit of scarcity mindset creeping back in, or something that creeps into your psychology. But I think one of the best things that I've done is to push through that when it gets to that point, to keep growing and try to keep expanding it. Because I think once you get into that defensive mode, now all of a sudden, a good bit of defense is good, but stay in the offense while you're protecting your downside. I think that's had some massive success for me. And my podcast has grown into its own business now. It's had success with that, and then within my own business that we're just growing and adding more states every year.
MC, do you have any tips or maybe just some definite things that you could give our audience as far as to look for and when you're looking for that balance? Because I think certain personalities, I know mine tends to be more of the defensive one. We've had this success and now we just want to protect what we have and keep it going versus, constantly pushing forward and expanding. And I think there really has to be a balance there. Do you have any specifics that you've learned from your experience and how to know when you found the right balance?
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's because of the wealth strategy that's incorporated in the business as part of that. So from our personal wealth strategy, we know that we have a vault, basically, right, where we warehouse a certain amount of savings. So because we have that, all of a sudden it gives you confidence to make certain decisions and do certain things in your business. So you can have a little bit of it too. I know exactly what you mean. I'm also a little bit risk averse in certain areas. So for me personally, I think that's given the balance. It's not, empty the tank and put everything in the business and hope it flies, right? But I have a little bit of, have that cushion, have a vault, as we call it. Have that within your own system, because that'll give you confidence in your business to make certain decisions.
I think you're right. I haven't really thought about that particular aspect before, but if you do have that cushion, then you can push forward and you can try new things, knowing that you have something there to fall back on if you need it. And that allows you to sort of work through some of those unsure things or those risks that you might have to take. Talk a little bit about some of the strategies that you use when you are facing a difficult decision.
Mentorship has been a great one and has played a big role for me. So mentorships and masterminds, there's certain folks in your network that you can reach out to and ask them about, hey, has this ever happened in your business? Have you ever felt like this, right? If you just talk to entrepreneurs, there's not a single entrepreneur that's ever been afraid of something or scared or fearful or, so ask the folks in your peers in your network, in your masterminds, and also mentors, because the chances are they've probably had that too come up in their businesses. And then also surround yourself with just a team of counselors and advisors.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and hear from one of our show sponsors. When we return, we'll talk to MC about some of his favorites as it relates to his life as an entrepreneur.
Have you ever thought about investing in real estate but find yourself so busy that you don't have time for it? Do you have FOMO, which is the fear of missing out? At HandfordCapital.com, we help investors with passive real estate investments that project better returns than traditional investment vehicles such as the stock market. If you'd like to find out more about our passive real estate investments, visit HandfordCapital.com. That's HANDFORD Capital.com. We will jump on a call with you to discuss your investment goals and to see if our investments are a good fit for you. This advertisement is not to be construed as an offer or recommendation to buy or sell a security. Visit HandfordCapital.com.
And we are back with MC Laubscher. And MC, I want you to get us started with a series of quick questions and answers that we call the Trifecta by telling us about your favorite technology that you use in business that helps make your life easier every day.
Now that I'm doing a lot of writing too, Grammarly has been fantastic because spelling and spell check sometimes isn't just enough on Microsoft Word. So I use Grammarly a lot for all of my emails and all of the writing that I'm doing. So I love that little bit of technology.
What's a favorite quote that you've heard that's helped you as an entrepreneur?
Courage is being scared to death, but settling up anyway, by John Wayne.
And what about a favorite book that you've read that's helped you with your decision making?
The 10X book by Grant Cardone is definitely one of my favorites as far as an entrepreneur and motivation. It's been very, very motivational and very inspirational in my business.
And that book is called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I really enjoy following him. He's a great entertainer.
Absolutely. He provides a ton of value and he does it in a very entertaining way. And he also gets you very excited and motivates you a lot.
Well, talk to us a little bit about what's the next thing for you on your vision or dream board right now, MC.
We are expecting our second child in December. So that's the first one. And then I'm very excited at growing my podcast in 2019 and also the growth of our business, the continued growth of our business at Producers Wealth.
I was about to ask you, I always talk about my business as being my second child or my third child, now actually my fifth or sixth or seventh child. So I was wondering if this next child is another business or if it was actually a child. But you clarified that towards the end.
Yeah, no. So we're super excited. So, and my businesses, I try to design my life a certain way because family is very important. So it's, we're very excited about it.
Well, how can the listeners reach out to you to follow you more and get to know you a little bit more after listening to this episode?
If they're interested in the podcast, they could go to cashflowninja.com. And if they're interested in just learning more about a holistic approach to wealth creation for entrepreneurs and business owners and also investors, they can check out a free webinar and a free course that I put together at yourownbankingsystem.com. It's yourownbankingsystem.com.
Well, MC, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today on the podcast. We look forward to continue to follow you as you continue to grow as an entrepreneur and look forward to having you on a future episode.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. It was a blast.
Thank you for listening to the Tough Decisions Network. Be sure to visit toughdecisions.net to gain access to show notes for this episode and to join our free weekly entrepreneur email where we will send you news about the latest technology for your business, inspiring quotes, and the latest books for entrepreneurs. That's toughdecisions.net.